Hey guys, Greg McCoy here with you for another equipment spotlight from Hidden Gym. Today we'll be looking at the newly released hack squat from Prime Fitness. Hack squats are one of the most popular lower body machines in any gym, and the release of Prime's interpretation of this machine has been highly anticipated by the industry. We've been working with Prime for nearly a decade now and are proud to have the first unit to land in the state of Texas. Now, we can't properly review the latest and greatest hack squat without a high-speed look back at the evolution of this movement. It seems to be undisputed that the strength pioneer George Hackenschmidt is the inventor of the movement, thus giving its name the hack squat. George, the Russian lion, predates the machine, however, and would perform the movement with a barbell behind his back somewhere around 1901, which is at minimum 50 years before the first machine claims to have been witnessed. Fun fact, George also invented a somewhat popular exercise you may have heard of, the bench press. Now, I was hoping to come with you with a look at the first hack squat machine ever invented. However, despite polling some of our industry's most experienced figures, shout out to Jim Thomas, Ed Connors, Jerry McCall, Larry North, Brad Holt, Brett Contreras, Sal Pellegrino, and Roy Simonson, our research was inconclusive. However, there are several candidates worth mentioning. Vince Gironda is where many experts trace their first memories of a hack squat machine to, though he likely called it a hack slide. Using this machine at his gym, he credits the development of many famous bodybuilders, including Arnold Schwarzenegger and Hollywood actors of the time. It's been claimed that Vince's design was eventually turned into the first commercially available machine by Icarian. Another popular suggestion from experts has been Paul Martin, a metal fabricator who has been designing machines post-World War II for Joe Gold during the golden era of Muscle Beach and Gold's Gym. Other experts have named Carl Talley of Serious Lifting Systems, Warren Tedding of Decathlon Company, and Strength Inc. out of Idaho. If you have any input into the hack squat origin story, I invite you to drop your clues and sources in the comment section of this video. The hack squat has been credited with a big advancement in quadricep development and has been used by just about every Mr. Olympia competitor of all time. I don't know about you, but watching Tom Platz, Dorian Yates, and Ronnie Coleman push their limits on these machines makes me want to hit the gym. All right, so let's catch up to the here and now. Almost. Hidden Gym's story with this machine dates back to 2021 when Ton and I were visiting the Prime showroom just outside of Pittsburgh the day after I competed at NPC North Americans, where we got to try out a working prototype. Fast forward nearly 3 years and it's finally here. There are significant changes to this machine since the prototype, so let's get into the latest and greatest of the hack squat from Prime Fitness. All right, first thing, when you walk up this machine, you just can't help but notice this is a sexy piece of gym equipment. With the guys from Prime, we always get to do our custom color, which is something they helped us source back in 2019, which we borrowed from Audi. So we do a custom color. And then one of the things that changed since the prototype is this machine is at a 35-degree angle. So the angle changes on hack squat machines. The more laid back it is, the heavier you're able to go because you're using less of the weight, but usually the more comfortable it is because it doesn't press you as hard. But one of the things I was personally most excited about is a less obvious detail, but as a gym owner, something I really paid attention to. These big stainless steel beams here and the high density rollers that they have is really going to help make this smooth. One of the plagues of hack squat machines in general, rods get rusty or really rough, which A, it doesn't feel that good, but B, from a training perspective, it's easy on the way down, and because of all the friction, it's harder on the way up. And so if you're speaking my language, you want the eccentric phase to be harder, not the concentric. So it's the reverse of what you want. If you don't understand that, just take my word for it. This is an improvement. All right, what I would call one of the show-stopping features of this machine is the way that they've designed this banding system. So the band hooks to the back of the machine. It comes over this roller, which I'm going to point out is an awesome improvement, again, from a gym owner's perspective. Traditionally with hack squats, it comes over a hard corner and it eats bands. Like I have to replace bands almost once a month. So being over a soft edge and the fact that this rolls with the band is going to help the bands last longer. But what's super cool, when this thing runs over here, you can actually change the amount of band tension with the band still on it. Which also lends itself to a ton of creative intensity techniques. You could literally do a drop set and start adding band tension as you fatigue. All right, another one of the big features of this design is this back pad. So in this position, it's set up like a traditional hack squat. But what's really cool, the top part of this pad, as easy as this, just pops out. This is gonna put the lifter with more hip flexion, so it brings in the glutes and the hamstrings more into the squat and almost turns it into a leg press. So a couple reasons you would wanna do this. One, it's gonna change the movement. Some people, maybe you have a back injury or avoiding spinal loading. So this is gonna put all the weight on your hips as opposed to compressing the spine. You could also do calf raises here just like you could in a leg press. So it's really cool. You know, companies like Hamstrings make a whole separate machine for this. So you're really getting two machines in one for the price of one and also for the floor space of one. So super cool feature that they worked in here. All right, next up, we're gonna talk about the rack and unrack feature. So it's over here on the side, which is not traditional. That is gonna throw people off, including myself, because every hack spot I've ever been on racks and unracks from the top. So it's here at the hips. One of the cool features though is that they've actually got 4 settings that you can rack and unrack from instead of the traditional 2. So if you're super tall, you're not gonna have to do a full rep to stand up with it. Or in the same, if you're super short, you're not gonna have to do a calf press just to re-rack the weight and you get into that panic mode. All right, so working our way down the machine, here you've got the safety spot or range limiter. So this is cool, it's got up to 12 different settings. So if you wanna set that up so that you know where the bottom is, or if you get stuck, you can set it down here. I will say, don't bounce off of this, you wild animals. Like, just touch it. Don't use it for rebound. So that's the gym owner pet peeve. Okay, moving on to the foot plate. You'll see it's got a ton of length top to bottom. You can change, you know, how the movement is gonna work based on where you place your foot. It's not the widest platform I've ever seen, so you can definitely do narrow stance and then probably just outside the shoulders. But then what is cool is this has got up to 8 settings and it's really easy to adjust. It's not heavy at all. So even if you've got terrible ankle mobility, you can essentially flatten this out, which will mean you can still hit full depth even if you have low ankle mobility. This is another cool feature that they had put on their racks originally. And so this is just a simple adjustment that allows you to level the machine. As we know, most gyms, the floors are not level. You end up with machines that rock. So this is a great way to level out the machine no matter where you put it in the gym. Let's get into some creature comforts. I like to call this how to be comfortable when you're making yourself uncomfortable. So the padding is excellent. It's comfortable but not so soft that you feel the machine. So it's nice and dense. And then the way that they designed this angle, these pads actually rotate in a little bit. So they put a lot of effort into the ergonomics of this machine so that you didn't have neck and shoulder pain while you're training. Also, the head pad is tilted up a little bit, so your head's not way back while you're doing the set. And then these arms, much like their super squat bar, they come up and out so that you're in a comfortable position. You're in a strong position that you can hold on to while you're going out on the squat. And like all Prime equipment, this is made in America, so super high quality. It's heavy duty, but it actually only weighs 500 pounds, which may sound like a lot, but when it comes to moving gym equipment, that's actually not too bad. With one dolly, you can move this thing anywhere in your gym, so that makes life easy. All right, so there you have it for all the features and benefits of the new Prime Hack Squat. We're gonna do a little something different with this time's spotlight video. We've got some of the top fitness pros in Dallas that are gonna come out. This is the first time anyone in the state has used this machine, so I called up the boys and ladies, and they're gonna put this thing through the paces and let you guys know what they think firsthand.
We are here at Hidden Gym in Richardson, hitting the Prime Hack for the first time, smoking my quads, guys. That's all I gotta say is when he asked me to do an interview, I requested to stay in this chair. It's been phenomenal, really smooth, love the adjustments. I love that you can adjust the cable resistance as well on the band tension, so if you wanna load it up, you can reduce the resistance, or you can increase the resistance depending on how much load you wanna leverage throughout your sets as they progress into the top. For me personally, that's my favorite part of it so far. I don't have to have as much CNS fatigue as I get into those top sets, and then we can go full on max effort, just like we just did, and put me into this chair right here. One of the best things about this hack squat is at the bottom, there's not a lot of pressure in your lower back. So you guys know when you're at your top set, always feel that pressure, starts to have a really immense painful pump, kind of messes up the rest of your workout. Not on this bad boy, nice and smooth, can take all my sets to failure without having that risk for injury and that lower back pain?
Feel great. My legs are more pumped than they have been in a long time. I've been training on like just all sorts of different machines, trying to find like different ones that work better for my body, and like this one, it's so smooth. The way that it comes down and up, it almost feels like too good, so you want to like keep going even though you can't. I really like the adjustments and just like all the different like parts of it to like hang the band or like adjust the foot plate or whatever. It's also really like your feet can grip the platform really well, which is helpful, especially if you want to train without shoes. My shoes that I train in are like kind of slippery because they're kind of harder on the bottom, but it still grips onto that. So it's a great machine. I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to like train more on it.
So the Prime Hack Squat, I'm a big fan of it. This is my first time using it. It's got a lot of adjustability to it. The ability to be able to adjust the amount of tension that you have on the bands on the back. It's really easy to change the bands out and to adjust the tension in between your sets. The upright seat position is really nice for kind of more of like a sissy squat type of thing. And a lot of adjustability with the back pad and with the foot pad. So A+ rating for me.
Today was my first time using the Prime Hack Squat. I've been using a hack squat for 20 some odd years. I really like this one, one, because the movement's really smooth. It's really smooth. It rolls smooth all the way through. The movement itself actually really is akin to a free squat for me. It has sort of that same tension range, same feeling, just right off the bat, sort of bare bones basics. But there are a lot of things you can play with on the machine. If you like playing with different stances, ideas, rep ranges, concepts, it's a great machine. My advice when you first approach using this machine is to find your base setting. And what I mean by that is what is the right platform setting, the most natural platform setting for you? And then two, what's the most natural band setting for you? Find that combination first, and that should be the setting that's the most comfortable for you to go through your squat motion. And then you can start adapting and adjusting once you find that setting.
Overall, I'd have to say this is probably, my favorite hack machine I've actually ever used. I mean, there's other good ones out there, but none of them are as versatile as this one. I personally have a lot of knee issues. I've had 2 knee surgeries, so the adjustability and variations on this really make it a lot more comfortable, especially with the band adjustment and being able to, make that band a little bit stronger as you get heavier into the load. Definitely helps take a lot of pressure off my knees and allow me to focus on my quads. I will also say I love the fact that you can switch it to a linear hack squat, do a bunch of different variations like single leg, or you can do ones that work on that outer head as well too. Definitely a smooth machine, I will say. I definitely look forward to continuing to use this one.
So I really like the built-in band system because you can adjust it without having to take the band on and off. There's just a pulley here. So this is gonna help like people with knee issues. You get to the bottom of your rep, this is gonna slightly pull you back up. You can adjust how much you want it to pull you back up. Also, this is a multi-hack squat. So you can do your normal hack squat, or you can adjust this where it's a linear hack. So me, I like to do hack squat first, and then I like to do another movement after that, so I can go straight into the linear and not have to go to another machine. Great piece of equipment, highly recommend.
Awesome machine. I love the smoothness of it. There were no catches down or up. The other thing I really like about it too is the banded resistance on the back. So if you wanted to increase the resistance or lighten the resistance as far as the help in the bottom, it's just an easy adjustment with the same bands. You don't have to go find thicker bands, and everything's really simple to move. Everything's pin loaded and felt really good. No knee pain, no hip pain, really good pump, great machine.